In 2025, a woman in Brampton, Ontario, walked out of a no-frills with $47 worth of groceries and paid $11. She did not use coupons. She did not steal anything. She used 5 loopholes built into the store's own policies. Loopholes the store created, loopholes the store honors, and loopholes the store has never once advertised. She does this every week. She's been doing it for 3 years. Her annual grocery bill is about $4,000. The national average is over $12,000. Number 22 on this list gets you free groceries every time a cashier makes a mistake. Number 13 lets you pay the lowest price in your city without visiting more than one store. And number 1 is a loophole so powerful that the grocery chains have rewritten their checkout procedures to make it harder to use. And it still works if you know how. These are not illegal. Nothing on this list will get you arrested or banned. But the stores call them loopholes for a reason. They were never meant to be used this way. Hit that subscribe button. Let us count down all 25. Number 25. Buy holiday food the day after the holiday. Every Canadian grocery store marks down seasonal food by 50 to 90% the day after the holiday ends. Christmas baking supplies on December 26th. Thanksgiving turkeys on the Tuesday after the long weekend. Easter chocolate on the Monday after Easter. Valentine's Day candy on February 15th. Halloween candy on November 1st. A $10 box of Christmas chocolates costs $2 on Boxing Day. A $20 turkey costs $6 the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. The food is identical, the packaging is seasonal, and the store needs the shelf space for the next season's products, so they will sell at a loss to clear it. A family that buys holiday food the day after every holiday saves between $100 and $200 a year on items they were going to buy anyway. Number 24. Use the Flash Food app for groceries at up to 50% off. Flash Food is a Canadian app that lists groceries approaching their best before date at deeply discounted prices. Meat, dairy, bakery, and produce from Loblaws, No Frills, Real Canadian Superstore, and other chains are listed daily at 30 to 50% off. You pay through the app, walk into the store, and pick up the items from a designated Flash Food shelf near the front. The food is perfectly good. It simply needs to be eaten or frozen within a day or two. A senior who checks Flash Food every morning before their grocery trip often picks up marked-down items the store has already decided to discount, but is not yet placed on the regular markdown shelf. The app gives you first access to the discounts before in-store shoppers see them. Number 23. Stack price matching with loyalty points. This is the loophole the stores did not anticipate. At No Frills and Real Canadian Superstore, you can price match an item to a competitor's flyer price and still earn PC Optimum points on the purchase. The store matches the lower price. The loyalty system records the transaction and awards points. You get the cheapest price in town and the points on top of it. A shopper who price matches 4 items per trip and earns points on each one is double dipping, getting the competitor's price and the store's rewards simultaneously. Over a year, the points from price-matched items alone add up to $50 to $75 in free groceries. Number 22. The scanning code of practice makes pricing errors profitable. When an item scans at a price higher than the tag or flyer, the store will give you the item free if it costs under $10, or take $10 off if it costs more. This is not a suggestion. It is a voluntary code that Loblaws, No Frills, Walmart, Sobeys, Metro, Costco, Shoppers Drug Mart, and Giant Tiger have all signed on to. The loophole is in the frequency. Pricing errors happen on approximately 1 in 20 items in the average Canadian grocery store. A shopper who watches the screen during checkout and catches 1 error per trip gets 1 free item per trip. 52 free items per year. At an average item value of $4, that is over $200 a year in free groceries from a code the stores agreed to and hope you never invoke. Number 21. Buy the family size package and portion it yourself. A 2-kilogram package of chicken thighs costs $8. 4 individual chicken thighs from the meat counter cost $12. The chicken is identical. The difference is packaging. The store charges a premium for pre-portioned convenience. The loophole is to buy the large package, bring it home, and divide it into individual portions yourself using freezer bags. 15 minutes of portioning saves $4 on chicken alone. Applied to ground beef, pork chops, sausages, and any other protein sold in both family and individual sizes, the savings reach $30 to $50 a month. Number 20. Buy cheese by the block and grate it yourself. A block of cheddar costs $7 for 400 grams. A bag of pre-shredded cheddar costs $7 for 300 grams. You get 25% less cheese for the same price because the store charges you for the grating. The loophole is a box grater in 2 minutes. A family that buys block cheese and grates it themselves saves about 20% on cheese year-round. Over 12 months, that is $40 to $60 on cheese alone. The pre-shredded bags also contain anti-caking agents like cellulose that prevent the cheese from melting properly. Block cheese melts better because it is pure cheese. You save money and get a better product. Number 19. FreshCo beats competitors by 1 cent. FreshCo's lowest price guarantee does not just match competitor prices, it beats them by 1 cent per item. If a competitor's flyer shows eggs at $3.49, FreshCo will sell them at $3.48. 1 cent per item sounds like nothing, but applied across 10 price-matched items per trip, that is 10 cents per trip. Over 52 trips a year, that is $5.20 in additional savings beyond the match itself. The real value is not the penny, it is the policy. FreshCo is the only major Canadian chain that actively beats the match rather than just meeting it, which means every price match at FreshCo is slightly better than the same match at No Frills or Superstore. Number 18. Buy frozen fruit instead of fresh for smoothies and baking. A pint of fresh blueberries costs $5 and lasts 3 days in the fridge. A bag of frozen blueberries costs $5 and lasts 6 months in the freezer. The frozen berries were flash frozen within hours of harvest, so they contain the same or higher nutrient levels than fresh berries that spent a week in transit and another week on the shelf. For smoothies, frozen berries are actually better because they eliminate the need for ice. For baking, frozen berries perform identically to fresh. The loophole is that the grocery store positions fresh berries in the premium produce section at eye level and hides the frozen bags in the back of the frozen aisle. The fresh version looks better. The frozen version is better value. The store profits from the difference. Number 17. Use the PC Optimum personal offers to get targeted discounts of up to 20 times the points. Every Thursday, the PC Optimum app loads new personalized offers based on your shopping history. Some of these offers are worth 20 times the normal points on specific items, which is effectively a 20% discount paid in future groceries. The loophole is in the loading. You must manually load the offer before you shop. If you do not load it, you earn the base rate even if you buy the exact item the offer was targeting. A shopper who loads every offer every Thursday and buys the items they were already planning to buy earns between $30 and $60 a month in points. The system is designed to make you buy things you do not normally buy. The trick is to ignore offers on unfamiliar products and only load the ones for items already on your list. Number 16. Ask the bakery for day-old bread before it reaches the markdown shelf. Most grocery store bakeries pull yesterday's bread from the regular shelf in the morning and move it to the markdown rack by late morning. But the bread sits in the back between being pulled and being marked down. If you ask a bakery employee whether they have any day-old bread available, they will often give it to you at the markdown price before it reaches the shelf. The loophole is timing. A shopper who arrives at the bakery early and asks gets the best selection of day-old bread before the marked-down shoppers arrive. The bread is 12 to 24 hours old. It is not stale. It is bread the store has decided is no longer fresh enough for the full-price shelf, but it is perfectly good for anyone who asks. Number 15. Buy whole vegetables and cut them yourself. A bag of pre-cut stir-fry vegetables costs $5 for 300 grams. The same vegetables bought whole, a pepper, an onion, a carrot, and a head of broccoli, cost about $3 and produce over a kilogram of stir-fry vegetables. The store charges a 60 to 70% premium for the cutting. 5 minutes with a knife eliminates the markup entirely. The same applies to pre-sliced mushrooms, pre-diced onion, baby carrots versus whole carrots, and pre-washed salad mix versus a head of lettuce. Every pre-cut product in the produce section carries a convenience markup that disappears the moment you pick up a knife. Number 14. Giant Tiger beats competitors by 1 cent and carries items other discounters do not. Giant Tiger's ad match guarantee beats any local competitor's advertised price by 1 cent, similar to Freshco. But Giant Tiger also carries household items, clothing, and seasonal goods at discount prices that pure grocery stores do not offer. The loophole is to combine a grocery trip with a household supply trip at Giant Tiger, price match groceries to competitor flyers while buying non-grocery items at already discounted prices. A single trip replaces 2 stores. The combined savings on groceries and household items reach $20 to $40 per trip. Number 13. Price match at 1 store using every competitor's flyer simultaneously. No Frills allows you to price match up to 4 items per competitor flyer. There is no limit on the number of competitor flyers you can bring. For example, a shopper who brings flyers from Sobeys Metro, Food Basics, Freshco, and Walmart to a single No Frills trip can price match 4 items from each flyer, which is 20 items at the lowest prices from 5 different stores, without visiting any of them. The entire weekly shop happens at 1 checkout. Those savings add up. The savings from 20 price-matched items range from $15 to $30 per trip. Over a year, that is $800 to $1,500 saved, without setting foot in more than 1 store. First pattern break. Here is what the grocery industry calls these loopholes internally. They call them margin leakage. Every time a customer uses the scanning code to get a free item, that is margin leakage. Every time a customer stacks price matching with loyalty points, that is margin leakage. Every time a customer buys a family pack and portions it at home instead of buying individual packages, that is margin leakage. The stores track this leakage meticulously. They know exactly how much money they lose to inform shoppers, and they have decided that the loss is acceptable because the alternative, removing the policies that cause the leakage, would cost them more in customer goodwill than the leakage itself costs in margin. That is the loophole behind all the loopholes. The stores keep these policies because removing them would look bad. And as long as the policies exist, the savings are yours. The only question is whether you know about them. Number 12. Buy the store brand version of everything in the pharmacy section. The markup on name brand, health and beauty products is the highest in the grocery store, often exceeding 300%. Store brand ibuprofen has the same active ingredient and the same dose as the name brand and costs 60 to 70% less. Store brand antacids, allergy medication, vitamins, bandages, and cold remedies are all manufactured to the same Health Canada standards. The ingredient list on the back of the store brand is often identical to the name brand. A senior who switches every pharmacy aisle item to store brand saves between $200 and $400 a year. Real savings. Number 11. Buy the misshapen produce bag. Buy imperfect produce discount bags. Many grocery stores now sell bags of imperfect produce, oddly shaped apples, crooked carrots, and undersized peppers, at 30 to 50% off the regular price. The produce is nutritionally identical. The only difference is cosmetic. A bag of imperfect apples costs $2 instead of $4. A bag of oddly shaped carrots costs $1 instead of $2.50. The stores introduce these bags to reduce food waste. The loophole is that the produce inside is often the same variety and quality as the premium display, just sorted out during the grading process. For cooking, baking, and soups, the shape of a carrot is irrelevant. The discount is not. Number 10. Use the Flip app to find every sale in your area without collecting flyers. The Flip app digitizes every grocery flyer in Canada and lets you search by item. Type in chicken breast, and it shows every store in your postal code that has chicken on sale that week, sorted by price. Type in butter, and it shows every butter deal within driving distance. The app eliminates the need to collect, read, and compare paper flyers. A senior who searches Flip for the 5 items they buy most often before every trip and price matches the cheapest result at their home store saves $10 to $20 per trip without any additional effort. Number 9. Redeem PC Optimum points during events that offer 20 times the usual points for maximum value. PC Optimum points are worth 1 cent each when redeemed. But during Shoppers Drug Mart bonus redemption events, which happen roughly every 6 to 8 weeks, you get an additional 30 to 50% more value when you redeem. 10,000 points normally equals $10. During a bonus event, 10,000 points can equal $13 to $15. The loophole is simple. Never redeem points at regular value. Save them until the bonus event and redeem them all at once. For example, a shopper who accumulates 50,000 points over 3 months and redeems during a bonus event will get $65 to $75 instead of $50. That is $15 to $25 in extra value from doing nothing except waiting. Number 8. Buy meat on markdown and freeze it the same day. Every grocery store marks down meat that is approaching its best before date by 30 to 50%. The meat is not bad. It is simply approaching the date the store has set for its shelf life. Frozen the same day, it lasts 3 to 6 months at full quality. A package of chicken marked down from $12 to $6 is not $6 of cheap chicken. It is $12 of chicken at half price. A senior who shops the markdown section for meat twice a week and freezes everything immediately can cut their meat bill by 1/3 or more. Over a year, that is $300 to $500 in savings on protein alone. Number 7. Buy whole canned tomatoes and crush them yourself. A can of whole tomatoes costs $1. A can of diced tomatoes costs $1.20. A can of crushed tomatoes costs $1.30. A can of tomato sauce costs $1.40. They are all the same tomatoes, processed to different levels. Whole tomatoes are the cheapest because they require the least processing. Crush them with your hand or with a fork, and you have diced tomatoes. Blend them, and you have sauce. The loophole is that the store charges more for every additional step of processing it performs. The less the factory does, the less you pay. A cook who buys whole canned tomatoes and processes them in the kitchen saves 20 to 40% on every tomato product they buy. Number 6. Use the self-checkout to double-check every price before paying. At a staff checkout, items scan quickly, and the cashier controls the pace. At self-checkout, you control the pace. You can scan each item, check the price on the screen, and pause if something looks wrong. The scanning code of practice applies at self-checkout the same way it applies at a staffed lane. If you catch an error, call the attendant and invoke the code. The loophole is that self-checkout gives you more time and more control to spot errors that a staffed lane would process before you noticed. Some shoppers report catching 2 to 3 errors per trip at self-checkout that they would have missed at a staffed lane. Number 5. Buy canned goods by the case at wholesale price. Most no-frills and real Canadian superstore locations will sell canned goods by the case at a per-unit discount if you ask. A single tin of tomatoes costs $1. A case of 12 costs $10, which is 83 cents per tin. The savings are 17%, and the tinned goods last for years on the shelf. A senior who buys a case of tinned tomatoes, a case of tinned beans, and a case of tinned soup once every 3 months saves between $40 and $60 a year and never runs out of pantry staples. The case pricing is not advertised on the shelf. You have to ask. The staff know the case prices. They are not posted because the store makes more profit selling individual tins at full price. Number 4. Use the PC Optimum bonus point. Offers at Shoppers Drug Mart for groceries. Shoppers Drug Mart carries a growing selection of groceries, including milk, bread, eggs, frozen foods, snacks, and canned goods. During 20 times points promotions, which happen roughly every 2 weeks, the points you earn on a $50 grocery purchase at Shoppers are worth approximately $7 to $8 when redeemed later. The loophole is that most people think of Shoppers as a pharmacy, not a grocery store. Grocery prices at Shoppers are often slightly higher than at a dedicated grocery chain. But when a 20 times points promotion is running, the effective discount from the points earned more than covers that price difference. A senior who buys their weekly bread, milk, and eggs at Shoppers during a 20 times promotion can earn enough points for a free grocery trip every 2 months. Number 3. Combine rain checks with future sales for the lowest possible price. When a sale item is out of stock, the store issues a rain check that lets you buy the item at the sale price when it returns to stock. The loophole is timing. If the item returns to stock during a later sale at an even lower price, you can use the rain check or the new sale price, whichever is lower. If you combine the rain check with a loyalty point bonus event, you get the sale price plus the bonus points. A shopper who collects rain checks on every out-of-stock sale item and redeems them strategically during bonus events saves twice, once from the rain check and once from the points. Number 2. Buy a whole pork loin and have the butcher cut it for free. A whole pork loin at Costco or No Frills costs about $3 per kilogram. Pre-cut pork chops from the same loin cost $8 to $10 per kilogram. The difference is butchering. Most grocery stores with a meat counter will cut a whole loin into chops for free if you ask. You buy the loin at the whole price. The butcher slices it into 14 to 16 chops. You take them home and freeze them individually. 14 pork chops for about $12 instead of $35. That is a savings of $23 from a single request. The butcher is standing there, the saw is running, and the service is free. The store does not advertise this because selling pre-cut chops at 3 times the price is more profitable. The loophole is in asking for the service that is available but never offered. Number 1. Combine every loophole on this list into a single trip. This is the master loophole, the one that turns a $100 grocery trip into a $40 grocery trip. Here's how the woman in Brampton does it every week. She checks the Flip app on Thursday morning and identifies the 5 cheapest sale items across all competitors. She loads her PC Optimum personal offers. She drives to No Frills. She price matches her top items using competitor flyers. She earns PC Optimum points on every price-matched item. She buys a whole pork loin and asks the butcher to cut it. She shops the meat markdown section and freezes everything that night. She buys store brand on every item. She checks the day-old bakery rack. She watches the screen at self-checkout for scanning errors. She invokes the scanning code on every error. She buys imperfect produce bags. She buys whole canned tomatoes instead of diced. She saves her PC Optimum points for the next bonus redemption event at Shoppers. Every loophole on this list stacks. That is the secret the grocery industry hopes you never figure out. Each loophole alone saves $5 or $10. Combined, they save $50 to $60 per trip. Over a year, that is $2,600 to $3,000. On a $12,000 annual grocery budget, that is a 20 to 25% reduction. Not from coupons, not from apps, from using the store's own policies, the way they were written, but never intended to be used all at once by a single shopper on a single trip. The stores designed each policy in isolation. They did not anticipate a customer who would learn all 25 and deploy them simultaneously. That customer is the grocery industry's worst nightmare. And that customer, starting with your next trip to the store, can be you. Here is my challenge. Try 5 of these on your next grocery trip. Just 5. Price match 4 items using a competitor flyer. Check the day-old bakery rack. Watch the screen at self-checkout for 1 scanning error. Buy 1 block of cheese instead of pre-shredded. Check flash food before you leave the house. Then compare your receipt to what you normally spend. The number will be lower. It will be measurably, visibly, undeniably lower. And you will wonder why nobody told you this sooner. The answer is simple. The stores did not want you to know. Share which loophole saved you the most in the comments. I want to know if anyone has used all 25 on a single trip. I want to know if anyone has cut their grocery bill by half using these policies. These are not tricks. They are not hacks. They are the store's own rules, written by the store, enforced by the store, and available to every Canadian who walks through the door. The only thing that was missing was someone to tell you they exist. Now you know.